Hello and welcome to the Weekly Scoop, the show where we give you a scoop of the news from the week that was. My name is Victoria and I'm joined as always by Daniel, Celine and Bethany.
We'll be going through the national and international news as well as sports and entertainment. Coming up today on the show, George Pell's return, the dangers of e-cigarettes, the AFL Final Series and The Bachelor. But for now, let's see what made headlines around Australia this week. In a final bid for freedom, disgraced Cardinal George Pell has lodged an appeal to overturn his child sex convictions. Victoria's Court of Appeal dismissed Pell's appeal last month against convictions for 5 child sexual offences by a 2-1 majority. Pell's lawyers will argue the passage of time makes it difficult to test allegations of historical sex abuse. If the case does go to the High Court, it will most likely be heard next year. For about a year now, the federal government has been promising to bring down power bills by beating competition into the energy market with a big stick. If passed, the Big Stick Bill will inject competition into the market by enforcing new laws that will punish uncompetitive behaviour. The government is hoping to find more success this time around in Parliament after failing to gain traction earlier this year. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews has become the highest paid of any state or territory leader after winning a $46,000 pay rise. This comes as a result of a wage bonanza for all state MPs, with him now making $422,562 per year. Speaking of pay rises, just a day before the AFL Grand Final public holiday, strike action will once again bring Melbourne's tram network to a halt. On Thursday, September 26, tram drivers will walk off the job in protest for better pay, so don't expect to be catching any trams between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. New statistics have revealed that every day car parking at Melbourne Airport rakes in about $300,000, meaning over the past 15 years, the airport has made $1.5 billion in profit. Melbourne Airport responded saying the profit is needed to cover infrastructure development and that they've recently dropped prices by 20%. Free screenings for people struggling with chronic pain are being made available across Australia, aiming to improve their quality of life. Until the end of the month, more than 1,600 community pharmacies are providing face-to-face consultations and assessments. The $20 million federal funded program follows last year's crackdown on the use of codeine, which was upscheduled to prescription only. Queensland researchers have launched the world's biggest genetic study on skin cancer and are calling on more than 20,000 Australians to take part. Queensland Institute of Medical Research is putting together the study in an effort to narrow down on the genetic cause of skin cancer. Participants don't have to be affected by the disease, so if you're looking to get involved, please be sure to go to the link below. Anyway, that's it for national news. What have you got for us in the international news, Victoria?
That's right, Daniel. Saudi Arabia says it has evidence linking Tehran to an unprecedented attack on its oil industry. Washington believes the attack originated from Iran in a dangerous escalation of Middle East frictions. The world's biggest crude processing facility was one of the oil plants hit, which initially wiped out half of Saudi Arabia's production. Tehran has denied any involvement in the attacks. Body parts from at least 41 victims have been found inside plastic bags that were dumped in a well in western Mexico. Authorities were first called to the pit in early September, when nearby residents noticed unpleasant odours around the site. Examiners in the state of Jalisco said investigations were ongoing as they continue to piece together the grisly contents of more than 100 plastic bags. Indonesia's parliament has revised marriage laws to lift the minimum age a woman can marry by 3 years to 19. Indonesia is among the 10 countries in the world with the highest number of child brides. All factions in Parliament agreed the revision, while the move was also welcomed by campaigners as a step towards curbing child marriage in the country. New York became the second US state to ban flavoured e-cigarettes on Tuesday after its Democratic governor called for emergency action. The ban was in response to concerns about the rising use among teens and a spate of lung illnesses. The State Department pledged to provide retailers with a 2-week grace period before conducting site visits to enforce the ban from October 7. In efforts to reduce the economic impact of Brexit, Britain is looking to line up a series of trade deals with smaller non-EU countries. UK Trade Minister Liz Truss says she expects her government to complete a wide-ranging trade deal with Australia within months of exiting the European Union. The deal is expected to open the door to Australian agricultural products, which have faced barriers to the UK market for decades. The American Airlines mechanic accused of trying to sabotage a commercial airliner before takeoff was denied bail. Ahmed Alani allegedly tried to damage or disable an aircraft's air data module system on July 17. The plane was set to fly from Miami to the Bahamas with 150 people on board when pilots noticed an error with the ADM system. He will remain in custody until trial. That's all for your international news. Now, Bethany, what's making headlines in sport?
Well, in sport, St Kilda great Danny Frawley has been remembered this week with former teammates, family and friends celebrating the life of the 56-year-old at Moorabbin Town Hall. Mourners also gathered at Moorabbin Oval, where Frawley's hearse, decked in the Saints' colours, did a final lap of honour of the ground. It was after revealing his own personal battles with depression that Frawley became a strong advocate for mental health issues. Instead of flowers, Frawley's family requested any donations be sent to Beyond Blue. And if you or someone you know needs help, you can find the numbers of Beyond Blue, Lifeline and Men's Line on our screens now. In other AFL news, Collingwood is set to delist Sam Murray, even despite his successful reduction of an ASADA drug ban. Murray will be eligible to play AFL from next February, after his legal team reduced his 4-year suspension to 18 months. Giant star Lockie Whitfield has been ruled out of the preliminary final against Collingwood after having his appendix removed on Wednesday. Meanwhile, teammate Toby Green has failed in his bid to overturn his 1-game ban for making unnecessary contact with the eye area of Brisbane's Lachie Neale. GWS are set to argue that the AFL Tribunal acted unreasonably when it upheld the 1-match ban for Toby Green to the Appeals Board. We'll give you more insight into that story as it breaks on our Twitter under the hashtag #TheScoop. The Cats are set to take on the Tigers at the MCG even without their suspended forward Tom Hawkins in an attempt to keep their grand final hopes alive. Now to the soccer, and after their 3-0 victory over Kuwait, the Socceroos are preparing to take on Nepal in October at GIO Stadium in Canberra. Brisbane Strikers and Melbourne City have progressed to the FFA Cup semi-finals after defeating Moreland Zebras and Western Sydney Wanderers respectively. To cricket now, and while Australia has retained the Ashes with a thrilling win in the 4th Test, only 6 of those players can expect to be reselected, while 11 more squad members have their spots on the line. Australia will play Pakistan in a 2-test series starting in November before a 3-test series against New Zealand in December. Over to basketball, the Australian Boomers are leaving China empty-handed after finishing in 4th place in the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Losing to France 67-59 makes it the 5th time the Boomers have lost a bronze medal game. Now guys, it's coming up, the AFL Grand Final. I'm interested to know not only who you think is going to be playing in the Grand Final, but who's going to win.
Oh, okay. So I think this weekend, Collingwood will get the job done over GWS and Richmond over Geelong. I am a Pies supporter, so my heart's with the Pies, but I think Richmond will win the Grand Final by about 10 points against the Pies.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm not too into football, but over the years, the team I have sort of gravitated to the most has been Richmond, just because my mates have gone for it and that sort of thing. And I feel like I've also sort of, what's the opposite of gravitate? Sort of distanced myself from Collingwood. So I feel like I definitely want Richmond to win. And yeah, I reckon they are going to win. I've heard a lot of talk that if they do get into the final, which they probably will, they're going to destroy the Pies. What about you, Vic?
I definitely think it's going to be a Collingwood-Richmond grand final. I'm hoping Richmond wins because, sorry Celine, but I don't want to have to deal with any more Collingwood supporters. So I'm really hoping that Richmond takes home the premiership this year.
Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, I find it so hard to pick. I definitely think Richmond's going to be making the grand final. I think they're in such good form that I think they will win. But I don't know who they're going to play. Part of me thinks Collingwood, part of me thinks GWS even, so...
I think regardless, They're going to win, probably. Just what I've heard.
Oh, we'll have to wait and see with that, but that's all for sport, and it's now to entertainment with Celine. Celine, what's been making the entertainment news?
Well, a lot, Beth. Well, Desperate Housewives actress Felicity Huffman has learned her fate in the college admissions scandal. In a Massachusetts court, Huffman was sentenced to 14 days in prison, plus supervised release for 1 year, 200 hours of community service, and a $30,000 fine for fraud. The Oscar-nominated actress was one of 12 parents who pled guilty to bribery charges to help their children get into elite universities. Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine has testified against fellow gang members in his long-awaited court appearance. The artist detailed the workings of the gang and revealed how he profited from being a gang member of the group. If his efforts prove successful, prosecutors will work to get him a more lenient sentence. In February, Tekashi pled guilty to 9 charges and faces 47 years in prison. On a lighter note, Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello took to Instagram to address the trolls who've had a problem with their kissing skills. Coincidentally, the video was posted just an hour after Camila released a music video for her latest single, Liar. Even though they're still not publicly official, Mendes and Cabello have been the subject of relationship speculation ever since they released their duet Señorita in June. Anyway guys, check this video out.
We saw like on Twitter and stuff, you guys saying stuff about the way we're kissing and how it looks weird, like we kiss like fish.
Yeah.
And
Really hurt our feelings.
we just want to show you how we really kiss.
Yeah.
On to another pretty young couple, and Justin and Hailey Bieber have celebrated their first wedding anniversary. The two wed in a surprise courthouse ceremony in New York City last year, just months after getting engaged. Hailey marked the occasion on social media by posting sweet photos of her and Justin on Instagram. The pair have consistently paid tribute to one another online over the past year. Moving on, and Taylor Swift has shared new details about her years-long rocky relationship with Kanye West. In a new interview with Rolling Stone, the singer recalls the events that led up to the infamous recorded phone call, where the two discussed the lyrics to West's song Famous. Swift calls the rapper two-faced, saying the world didn't understand the context of the feud. The singer said it can all be traced back to that 2009 VMA moment when Kanye interrupted her on stage. On to more music news, and Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande and Lana Del Rey teamed up for a new song on the upcoming Charlie's Angels soundtrack. It's called Don't Call Me Angel. Here's a listen. Miley Cyrus fans think the singer is making a dig at her ex-husband Liam Hemsworth, suggesting the male model featured in the video looks a lot like him. And in some Kardashian news, Kim has revealed husband Kanye West is not ready to see their daughter North wearing makeup just yet. While at a dinner party for the launch of her and supermodel Winnie Harlow's makeup collab, Kim said she got into trouble for allowing their 6-year-old to wear some beauty products.
It's like I'd let her wear, she has a little red for Christmas. I'd let her wear, a red lip. Yeah. Well, I kind of got in trouble for that. So it's now no more makeup.
Guys, what do we think of this? Kids and makeup, yes or no?
Oh, it's a bit of a controversial one, but North is 6, isn't she?
Yeah,
that's
6.
So young. She'll have beautiful skin. I feel like it's not necessary at this stage, but once they get into being a teenager, go for your life.
Yeah, I agree. I just think makeup on kids is just a big no for me personally.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone can do whatever they want with their kids, but I think like Beth said, like they have such nice skin, and be a shame if they were to ruin that with all that makeup.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I wouldn't really know because I haven't grown up with sisters or any really young females in my family, so I'm not too sure when the age for makeup really is. But I feel like maybe if they're just trying to have fun with it, maybe, but I feel like it could bring on some sort of issues with insecurity sort of early on in childhood.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'd probably prefer not, unless it was just like an activity sort of thing. Like it was just like, oh, let's put on makeup this one time. But if it's like everyday sort of thing for a 6-year-old,
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think lip gloss is one thing.
Yeah.
They can play around and have fun with that, but if you're putting like mascara and like actual face stuff on, I think that's a bit too far. But also, it's probably hard for them because their whole world is makeup.
Exactly.
She was even saying like,
Switching
yeah,
their
like
mum
Kylie,
every day.
like Kylie gives her like beauty kits and stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, so I guess it's just their world. Well, anyway, guys, back home, while we know who the winner of The Bachelor is, we took to the street to see who your winner was.
I know. Not the best.
I like Abby.
Yeah, I reckon Chelsea. Right for winner. There's real love there, I reckon. Yeah, you don't see that often.
Yeah,
real love.
Chelsea seems nicer.
I feel like he'll
I
pick
reckon Abby.
but Chelsea does seem like a good person.
I don't like their dresses. They're really bad. It's okay. My fashion sense.
Abby's dress is better. I'm going for Abby.
They work 10 minutes away from each other. They're both scientists or whatever they do.
Engineers.
They're both smart.
If I was The Bachelor, if I was Matt, I'd probably choose Chelsea.
Chelsea seems like a nicer person.
Chelsea's hair's better.
They're smart. So.
Abby, yeah. I'm going for Abby. They look perfect together.
Abby's dress.
Abby has a better
seems
smile.
like the kind of person who's like fake, like plastic.
She seems like the Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
Exactly.
I think it's just the logical option because both live in Melbourne.
I would choose Abby because they have so much sexual chemistry.
Similar age group.
She's like the too perfect.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Abby's like
Matt
this
is more suited to Chelsea, you know?
Oh, right. I can imagine.
Because he's an astrophysicist. And she's a Pisces.
So, you know, that's all the chemistry I need to see, and there we go.
Both studying similar sort of field, working in similar sort of fields. I think that just makes sense to choose Chelsea.
Maybe it's gonna be like the Nick season where they both get sent home. It's tragic.
What if he's gay?
Chelsea's out of the way. Sorry, Chelsea. Chelsea seems like she can hold a better conversation.
Yeah, she seems like a person.
And I feel like that matters more.
Yeah, I reckon so.
And I feel like his parents would like Chelsea more.
She seems like more cheerful.
Yeah.
Wow, we are so judging from purely
Just
their
from
appearance. I've never watched a single episode. I mean, that work?
And New York Fashion Week ended last weekend, so I thought we could do a quick fashion roundup of some of the celebs who attended. Guys, first up is Zendaya in a Tommy Hilfiger suit and hat. What do we think?
I think she's ready for the Melbourne Cup.
She does look like a jockey.
Yeah, definitely. I personally don't like it at all.
What material is that? Is that like suede?
It's like velvet.
Velvet, like velvet, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really dig velvet. I don't know. It reminds me of church pews.
Really?
Like where you kneel on church. Sometimes we've got it made of that material.
Like
Yeah, and the scarf, I don't really dig the polka dots. It reminds me of pizza.
Yeah,
like
Bethany.
pepperoni pizza.
I'm
Yeah.
all for a well-tailed suit, especially on a female. I think that looks great normally, but I'm not a fan of that. The scarf and the hat is too much for me.
I agree. I think she could have just gone with the suit and it would have looked amazing.
Bit of
But-
slick back
yeah,
hair even.
exactly. But the beret's like covering her face and the scarf's too much.
You can't even recognize her.
Exactly.
I didn't know it was her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not her style. Doesn't.
Maybe not the right color either. I feel like maybe in a
Wow,
darker
that's
blue.
a collective big no,
Well,
isn't it?
sorry, Zendaya. Usually she looks lovely, so
Yeah, normally she looks
this
great.
is a one-off.
Yeah.
Well, next up is Gigi Hadid in Jeremy Scott overalls. What do we think here, guys?
I'm in a bit of a same situation from Zendaya. I normally don't mind overalls, but I am not a fan of these ones. I think she's such a beautiful girl, and I don't think that outfit is my favourite.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I don't really like it.
Too much
either.
going on?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I don't understand what's going on with her top, like
So
her
she
white
has
top.
a cropped t-shirt underneath, then a bra,
On
then
top.
overalls. No, so yeah, the cropped
t-shirt
t-shirt
just
like
crops really
just
high.
crops above the bra.
Oh
but
wow, okay.
I don't see.
So it's
why
basically
that's
just
why
like a
that's there.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Cover her shoulders.
Yeah, I don't know, don't really
I
rate
mean,
it.
Jeremy Scott is typical for this kind of like theme.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he goes all out, but still. Yeah.
I think
I
he's
don't know.
I think he's had better outfits
We don't-
that he's
yeah.
styled people with.
Yeah, I don't really understand the pattern either. The whole, what is that?
I have no idea.
It kind of looks like a
Oh,
newspaper.
New York, yeah, it's
It
like
does
it
a
says
little
New
bit
York City on it.
newspaper-ish.
I don't know, it looks $2 shoppy.
Yeah.
Like something you'd see on the front of a $2 shop.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Not great reviews from us for that one.
Okay, let's see with this next one. Hopefully we like this.
Fingers crossed.
This is Hailey Bieber in Alexander Wang and a Bulgari bag. What do we think here, guys?
I reckon that is the best out of the three so
I feel
far.
like it's good, but it's like nothing special either.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's
very
pretty much a
simple.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's very her though.
Yeah.
She looks like a Barbie doll or something.
Yeah.
It's, I
Yeah,
really love
true.
this look. Yeah.
And the white looks quite nice because she's quite bronze.
Yeah.
Nice contrast.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
She's very tan.
It's not show-stopping, but it's quite nice.
No, I do love how simple it is.
Yeah.
What's with all the mannequins in the back? That's creepy as.
I like her shoes as well.
I guess, yeah. Well, that's all we have, guys.
That was good. So what was it? Like out of we hated.
We don't
Two
love
out of
Zendaya and
three?
Gigi's, but we do like Hailey's. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I like Hailey's boots.
Yeah, I love
I
how
like
that
her
matches.
boots. Yeah, true. Actually, no, yeah, I like the outfit a lot
Yeah,
more.
and
yeah.
her hair matches. Yep, love.
Yeah, lovely, lovely, absolutely lovely. Just maybe not the mannequins.
Well, guys, that's all we have for you today here on the Weekly Scoop. For more updates and to watch our past episodes, you can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and follow the hashtag #TheScoop for live news updates.
Enjoy your weekend, and for weather, tomorrow it will be cloudy with a chance of showers, reaching a top of 17, and it'll be 16 on Sunday, partly cloudy and again with a chance of showers. Have a good night.